And a good evening to you here at Gerke Field. You're listening to 90 WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, and watching broadcast here on SPTV as well. We got Pointer football action the start of the season here at Gerke Field. You got Will Harrelson on the play-by-play tonight and Brody Kupski on color tonight. Brody, we've been looking forward to this moment all summer. It's back here, football season. What do you want to? What can we look forward to in today's game?
What we can look forward to is how the Pointers offense and defense, well, the new offense with the new head coach coming over from Oshkosh, the former Oshkosh offensive coordinator is now our new head coach. Hopefully, what we look in the Pointers is how they're going to look to start out the season. Obviously, it's the first game of the season, and there's a lot to improve on as the season goes. But hopefully we look to see what the Pointers are looking like this year, get a good idea of how they're going to play, what they're going to look like against teams, and really, hopefully they just play good.
Yeah, the first game of the year is always a confusing one, right? Because you don't know much about the team, and this is really a time to figure out what you guys got on a roster. Now, you were talking about a little bit about the head coach of the Stevens Point football team, Luke Van A. He was the offensive coordinator for the Titans in Oshkosh for 19 seasons, and he comes over here and he's trying to turn what is really a struggling program into a winning one again. And we were talking a little bit about what needs to be done to make it a winning program again. What are the basics that need to be done?
Like we were talking about before, a lot of it just goes into offensive scheming, whether plays are going to work against a certain defense, whether guys are going to make blocks, make plays happen, and just hold a defense or an offense accountable on like when they're playing on defense. It really comes down to it. A lot of people say defense wins championships, and it does come down to defense, even special teams too. One special teams mess up really can hurt a game and hurt a team's pride.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about special teams can affect outcomes of games. Let's look at what's a little bit more near and dear to a lot of us, the Green Bay Packers playoff loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Special teams cost them the game. And as you alluded to, coming down to it, that can be the deciding factor of the game. Obviously, we're here in Gerke Field in a beautiful, nice new field with a nice, fancy little jumbotron over there as the Pointers are getting ready to come out of the tunnel very soon. And we're just getting close to 10 minutes to start the game. We're already in the broadcast.
Of course.
But let's talk a little bit about both teams that are coming in here. Both had relatively rough seasons. Pointers 2-8. Let me check Mayville State. I thought they were around 3-7 last year. Don't quote me on that.
I believe I saw 2-9.
2-9. But 2-9, 2-6 in conference. So both teams had a rough year. Let's talk about how can teams rebound from a rough year like that? Because obviously, we were talking. It seemed to just about every game we were talking about. Okay, what can the Pointers do to get better for next game? Well, that season's over. What can guys do to really set themselves apart and get ready for the season here?
When it comes down to it, just getting in the weight room, getting the work in, putting the work into watching film from last year. See what mistakes they can clean up, what they can change on the offense, the defense, the same thing. Really, when it comes down to it, try to move past last year, maybe look at some of the mistakes from last year, change those, and try to form a cohesive team that can play together and win games.
Is that something that you think maybe can affect a team if things aren't going well? They'll be like, oh no, it's just another one of those seasons. Is that realistically something that can hurt a team?
Most definitely. You see it on the high school level too. A team gets down on themselves and they look to their past failures and think, well, now it's one of these seasons again. We're not gonna win a game. But if a team can just keep their heads up high and look forward to the next game, or just look to improve, they'll improve.
Yeah, without question. We're getting ever so closer to kickoff here as we'll kind of look into scores around the WIAC as there were other teams in action today. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But it's a loaded conference once again this year, and I mean, you look at teams like Whitewater, La Crosse, Eau Claire, always guys at the top of the conference. What can, these first games, while you're not playing a conference opponent, what can we say that will make them kind of, I don't want to say stand out, but assert themselves in a way?
I'd say non-conference games, it's kind of like the warm-up to the season. I know the YX, it's typically stacked. I mean, you look at the top teams at like Whitewater. It's a lot different than playing Mayville State or next week St. Norbert. St. Norbert's a top school for football. But really these non-conference games are just a way to get ourselves or get the pointers ready for the regular YX season as they're starting to run out on the field now. Really, these non-conference games are just a warm-up, but they shouldn't be taken lightly.
Right, and we'll look at the WIAC preseason football poll, and it was voted in this particular standings. Well, UW Whitewater, of course, they're going to be up there at number 1. At number 2, UW La Crosse. River Falls 3, Oshkosh 4, Platteville 5, Stout 6, Eau Claire 7, and Stevens Point at the bottom. So expectations by the community for the Pointers are not high. What does that provide fuel to the team to say, hey, they don't expect us to win. Let's go out there and prove them wrong?
Definitely. It goes without saying. A lot of teams may look at their preseason rankings and say, oh, we're ranked really low. Let's try to prove them wrong and put out a good season. Hopefully the Pointers see that, put out a good season. Compared to last year, hopefully they just win a conference game.
Right. It was a rough year to say the least for the Pointers, but plenty of opportunities here to change the fortunes and set things on the right track. As we'll look at the current standings of the WIAC football, in first place, UW Oshkosh. They won their first game of the year at wrong score. But looks a little, pardon me, folks. It's just a confusing website to navigate. As we will continue looking here, but look at scores as Saturday, September 2nd. Actually, UW Whitewater fell to St. John's of Minnesota earlier today, 24-10. UW River Falls dominated Elmhurst in Illinois, 63-0. UW Oshkosh dominated East Texas Baptist, 52-13. And Stevens Point, La Crosse, and Eau Claire are all in action as we speak. So let's get back to our game as both the teams are getting onto the field as we're going to get ready for the national anthem as we are approaching the 5-minute mark here in tonight's game. We're going to keep it here as we wait for people, but we will allow you all to enjoy the national anthem as it's being played here. Packed crowd here, a lot of people showing up for their Pointers. Not really as much for Mayville State. Of course, they had to make the drive all the way from North Dakota, a little bit of a haul.
It is a hike from North Dakota. It's
Pointers went up there last year. Obviously, it's a season series that both teams kind of have scheduled, but we're getting ready as both teams are now finally out on the field, and we are getting ready to start our game here. As colors are being presented by some members of the armed forces. So we'll give you a nice little shot of that here. And the national anthem will be presented here. We'll let you guys listen into it, and then we'll get into the beginning of the football game. Alrighty, and with that, we are getting ever closer to the opening kick. And you know, Brody, something I've noticed as kind of just gauging how both these teams are kind of holding themselves. This Stevens Point team seems to have a little bit more swagger than maybe they did last year. They seem maybe a little bit more upbeat with maybe a change of coaching staff. There just seems to be a little more emotion out of this group this year.
I definitely agree. We were talking about it before that the team seems to be a little more happier with the new head coach. Not that the old head coach was.
Just a change in culture.
But yeah, it really comes down to that, and that does affect a team and how they act and how they play. Hopefully they're not too overconfident.
Right.
That can always turn out bad. But
let the play speak, as they say.
Exactly.
But yeah. As the colors are retired, we will get a little bit into what we have for starting lineup. So last year's starting quarterback, Max Hero, is actually going to start on the sideline with an injury this year. That means Trey Schrader is going to be the starter for the Pointers this season. Last year, he had a few sparks, led the Pointers down to a few scoring drives, and really showed off a bit. Let's see if we're going to get the coin toss here in a minute, but if you had to give a key to a win here today for the Pointers, what would be your suggestion?
I would say just play good offense, eliminate mistakes. Obviously, it's the beginning of the year, but just eliminate the mistakes now so you don't have to worry about them too much later.
Play complementary football. That's the key, right? You want to have a solid offense that both throws and runs the ball, but you also want to have a strong defense, and that defense was a little bit of the difficulty last year for the Pointers. Is some of the captains out on the field for the Pointers is number 26 Reese Wiggins, number 81 for the Pointers Joe Hare, number 91 Malik Smith, and number 67 Nick Rederath. Those are the captains for the Pointers as we're getting the coin toss, and we will get underway shortly afterwards. Apologies if there were any technical difficulties in the beginning of the show. We should be all set up and ready to go from this point as we're going to get the call. Looks like Stevens Point won the toss, and they're going to defer to the second half, I believe, if that's what I can see. Looks like it. Both teams are going to captains from both sides are going to come and embrace, wish each other good luck, and we're going to get back to it. No official call yet on what's the outcome of the coin toss, but we are going to go with it. Looks like Stevens Point is going to kick this one off to start the game, and they'll take the ball in the second half. Well, we're here. New season, new faces. It's exciting time. Pointers people coming out to check out their team, and it should be a good one.
Oh, definitely. They're coming in droves as we look down, which is amazing. Obviously, it's the first football game of the season. Football is a big big sport up here, besides hockey. But it's good to see Pointers fans out to cheer on their team, and hopefully the Pointers put on a good season for them.
Put on a good show, and the Pointers will kick the ball away to start the season. They'll defer to the second half, so I was correct. And so it'll be Mayville State, the Comets, out on offense to start the game, as we are getting ready to get underway here from Stevens Point. Gerke Field, the newly revamped Gerke Field.
This is beautiful.
It's a nice, you couldn't ask for a better night. I'm no meteorologist, but partly cloudy and sunny, just a beautiful night. And beautiful summer night as we're getting into the school year. A lot of kids moving in. And here we go. Kick is up and coming here for the Pointers as they're getting offense ready. And we are underway to start the year. Pointers and Comets, as the kickoff will be taken around the 25-yard line and breaking it out outside on a decent return. And he'll be chopped down at around the 32-yard line. So that's where the Comets will start on offense. 0-0 your score. Only 6 seconds gone by in this first quarter as Pointers defense looking to get out on get it early 3 and out. Set the tone defensively. I would say that's probably a key here. You want to limit this this offense for Mayville State as Tim Selman, the 6'3" sophomore quarterback out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. So a little bit of a homecoming game for him as he will take the snap motion, the tight end off to the side, and here we go. First snap, throw it to the outside, quick little slant, and going straight down right away is Malik Flowers, the wide 5'11" receiver from Las Vegas, Nevada. Nice little chunk gain on first down. That'll make it 2nd down and 5 here for the Comets. Playing relatively fast is Selman. Lots of guys in motion as they'll have one back in the backfield. That'll be number 9, Demetrius Winters. In motion, wide receiver now going back out and taking the snap. He'll hand it off. That's the running back. That is actually Mason Allman. He has a nice little gain. That'll pick up about 5 yards. That should move the chains, and it does. Nice little drive here to start for the Comets. 2 plays, first down, and they're moving the ball.
Yeah, definitely a nice sweep there. Really faked them out there. I mean, quarterback might have been wide open for a run.
As Simon, a little bit of a hard count, trying to get the guys to jump once again. Motion is running back now. The tight end is in motion. Taking the snap, is looking back under pressure. Now quickly escapes, flips it out to the flat to the running back, and he'll get it on the move. And nice rumbling, bumbling, and tumbling. Pickup gain of 9. Comets are moving the ball. That is Mason Allman, the running back. Really dual, he's one of those Swiss Army knives, can do all kinds of stuff for you. As now the Comets are really moving it down the field. And here we go. Selman now looking to get the snap here. Take the snap in motion, wide receiver. That's number 6, Malik Flowers. They'll hand it off straight up the middle and a nice chunk yardage gain. And that will pick up a first down. 1st and 10 Comets. So a nice little offensive possession here to start the game for the Comets. They're really setting the tone of this one.
Yeah, not afraid to run the ball, throw it once in a while. Hopefully the Pointers can stop this, just to maybe limit them to a punt here.
So far, Mayville State with getting what they want. Flowers in motion now. Look, quick pressure by the Pointers, able to get away from it. Now throwing it deep to the end zone. Got a man open and off his fingertips into the long jump pits. And wow, what a athletic play there actually by Salmon, as the Pointers really applied heavy pressure to
ton of
start it, and he
pressure.
was able to roll away and still get one that should have been caught for a touchdown.
Definitely. For a sophomore quarterback, too, that's a lot of pressure on a guy like that.
Without question. But flashing the athletic ability is Salmon. Once again, the 6'3" sophomore out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. And he will motion his running back. Now take the snap, drop back to pass, and throw a slant deep, wide open. It was that little out route, and that goes off the fingertips of his receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down and 10. So a chance for the Pointers to stop this relatively strong opening possession by the Comets here.
Definitely. If they could stop him here, limit to a punt, that would be huge. Even a field goal. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to kick a field goal from here, but
It'd be pretty deep. Look for Chance Danner, the number 87, the big 6'5" wide receiver, tight end wide receiver hybrid. Like to use him a lot in these 3rd down and long situations as Salmon get ready in motion again as Flowers. And here takes the snap, goes back to Salmon. He's going to look deep. Now go over the middle. That pass is caught. That'll be short of the yardage, but he breaks away, and he has a free ride into the end zone as the Comets strike first off of what was essentially like a bubble screen type play. And they took it all the way to the house. A great, great athletic play. And the Comets go right down the field and score on their opening possession. An impressive drive.
yeah, definitely a lot of good things out of them, especially out of their quarterback. The running backs, too. I mean, they're finding holes. The wide receiver right there. That's a good athletic play. Way to use his head to find the hole.
Joshua Portillo able to take it to the house, and the extra point is up and good, making it 7-0 Mayville State over Stevens Point here with 12:04 to go in the first quarter. Man, if you're a Pointers fan, that drive defensively really couldn't have gone much worse to start the game.
Definitely. It's not to say it's not looking good. It's only the first drive of the game.
That's very true.
A ton of game left. But no worries. It's just the first drive. There's a lot to work on. Maybe we'll talk here in the huddle and decide what's working for us, what's not. Hopefully, let's take this kick return here and maybe get some yardage.
That'd sure be nice to take this kickoff all the way to the end zone and tie this one up. That'd be sure a nice little trendsetter. But they'll look to try to get the special teams. Was one of those on-off things for the Pointers. When it was on, they were good. When it was off, it was a little rough. And they had a few nice returns to start some of these games last year, especially one against Whitewater. They had a surprise onside kick that they were able to recover, as Mayville is now going to look to kick the ball away now with a 7-0 lead. But we talked about what it's like when a team scores first. It's really not necessarily a weight off of your shoulders, but it's a huge momentum boost, is it not?
Oh, definitely. It definitely is as he kicks off here. When you look at it, it sets the tone for your, depending on if you're on offense or defense, it sets the tone for your team. And as he returns it to the 18, it's definitely a tone setter.
That was Bryson Cashin on the return, not the longest return, and the Pointers will now have to go the full length of the field here. Well, not quite the full length of the field, but
enough yardage.
Enough yardage. So Schrader will now get the offense looking to try to answer back after a nice methodical drive, quick drive, not necessarily methodical, as Schrader will stake the snap a little low and now running off the edge and just diving forward and getting the
Reed Smith on the carry.
But, Reed Smith with a nice little 3-4 yard carry, we'll say, making it 2nd down and 6 as the Pointers are looking to respond on this drive. But offensively, that's a nice first down play, pick up 4 yards. Not the most, but nice little surge by the offensive line, picking up what the defense has given them as the second down play is coming. Looks like they're going to rush 4, and they do. Here comes a corner blitz. Now throwing it deep, got a wide open man and able to catch it and scamper down the sideline and get all the way up to the Mayville State 40-yard line. Man, that was a gamble as a corner blitz came, and just sneaking right down the sideline was Joe Aguilera, the 5'7" junior wide receiver. Man, that was not blown coverage, but going for the blitz really put them in jeopardy for that play.
It definitely hurt them there. I mean, wide open. It's hard to believe, but you don't expect it. It's
now Schrader and the offense get back up as they will get going and hand it off. Nice penetration by the Comets, but going around the edge and banging his way down to the looks to be the 37-yard line. They'll make it the 35-yard line. Not as a favorable spot as what I thought it would be. And now we got close to 10:14 on the clock here as the center he's up and ready to go.
Hey, I give him credit. I played center in high school, and you got to get ready on the ball and ready to play.
Saying you know what it takes?
Yeah, definitely.
In motion is the receiver. Now Schrader will hand it off once again, going to the right side and cutting his way, and now a chance up in the open field and banging his way down to the, looks like the 18-yard line as the Pointers have a nice response drive here. I believe that's number 30. Reed Smith, running back. So Smith with a nice little response dive in action. Offensive line really open up some nice holes here.
Definitely. You could run a truck through there practically, a semi.
Now Schrader. Smith to his left. It's ready for the snap. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Now drops back to pass. He'll throw a fade to the end zone. That'll be up and incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver who goes down hard, grasping that knee. That looked like number 10, Jack Ludke. We can only hope that it's nothing serious here as he immediately went down, and the Stevens Point training staff is running over. But yeah, didn't quite see what happened on the play. Maybe he just fell down awkwardly.
Yeah, maybe he just rolled it when he was coming down or something. It's not a good look, but hopefully he feels good and it's not too serious.
Yeah. But good response drive by the Pointers after giving up the opening kick touchdown to Mayville State. Not opening kick, the opening drive touchdown as more athletic trainers are going over to check on Ludke. But let's shift back to the drive so far. Nice little mix of running, a bit more predominantly running with Reed Smith. Want to break down a little bit of what you've seen so far this offensive possession?
Well, definitely a lot of wide open holes for Reed Smith to run through. A nice pass to Aguilera there. And it looks like the Pointers offense is undisciplined getting into the backfield as
want to take those penalties, now making it 3rd down and 20, and that kind of takes off the question of whether or not they'd go for it if they got a chunk yardage situation. As the snap will be taken and dropped immediately as the Comets rise to the occasion, and they just foiled this possession by Stevens Point as really it was kind of shooting themselves in the foot with fumbled exchange, penalty, just not a good situation as they look to go for a field goal. This will be a deep field goal.
Definitely. Coming down to it, you don't want to shoot yourselves in the foot on offense. It can hurt a drive.
Here comes the attempt by the Pointers kicker, and the snap is down. Kick is up, and it is good. Nice. So Pointers add 3, not 7, but still a response drive nonetheless. Now the defense is going to have to step up and make a play and get the ball back to the offense. So decent drive offensively, stalls with the mistakes in the penalty and the fumbled exchange, but overall a decent response.
Yeah, a good kick by Victor Pontiero, a senior out of Melrose. That's not the way the Pointers wanted it, but at least the Pointers scored there.
Very true, very true. So the score is Mayville State 7, UW Stevens Point 3. As we have 7:23 to go here in the first quarter. What is shaping out to be a good game. As now Point is going to look to kick the ball away. Pontario, who just put the ball between the uprights. Really solid kick, too. Looked like it would maybe been a little good from a little farther away.
And the wind is blowing in slightly, very slightly.
As we're getting ready to kick the ball right back off to this Mayville State offense, who really was electric to start the game, going right down the field as that kick is taking it around the 5-yard line and going back. That's the running back, number 0 for the Comets, and still blocking, but making its way up to about the 30 to 35-yard line, I would say, is Mason Ullman.
I think he's doing everything for their offense. He's catching passes, running the ball. I mean, kick returner. Like we said before, a Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife, done everything for the Comets to this point, as it is 7:15 to go in the first quarter.
Hand off the middle.
Right up the middle. Sorry, trying to fix this scoreboard here. So we're at 7:05.
Down to the 34. It looks like 24. Cole Dukart, senior out of Killdeer, North Dakota.
And now Solomon will look to get the offense going here. They're moving it a little very similar to their first drive, kind of slowly starting off with a few runs, and now it looks like tight end in motion. He'll take the snap, dropping back to pass, and he got planted by the Pointers. That's number 8, Dakota Creveau. What a nice pressure there by the Pointers on defense. As defense is starting to show up. And now it's 3rd down and 7. Well, they'll say 3rd down and 6, a long 3rd down and 6. And now Solomon will go up to the line of scrimmage and get ready for the snap. Got a running back behind him. And
looks like a ton of pressure by the Pointers.
Yeah, Pointers are bringing it, unless they're going to back out of it. Snap to Solomon, and they back out of it. He's under pressure immediately. Now fades all the way and just tosses this one out of bounds. So great job by the Pointers as they force, using their defensive pressure, forcing Solomon out of the pocket, and he really just had to heave one away, or else that was going to be a deep sack. And 3 and out, Pointers will get the ball back as that defense is now starting to step up.
It's a huge stop. We got Pointers have 2 returners back as Mayville State lines up in a shield formation here.
Looks like the Pointers do have 2 back. As the kick is away, and it's a good one, fair caught at about the 32-yard line, and that's where Stevens Point will take over as Trey Schroeder will come back back on the offense. 7-3 is the score. Comets on top of the Pointers here in kickoff game of the season for Stevens Point. Comets played 1 game earlier this season. They
right here.
And here we go. Schrader now rolling out to his left. He'll throw it. Schrader, excuse me, and jumping in front of the route. That was an easy one. And the Pointers give it away right as soon as they got it back. Mayville State in business at about the 40-yard. Looks like they're going to have it at the 44-yard line. So yikes, not a good play.
Definitely not. But to his credit, his wide receiver did look a little open, just a little underthrown.
So underthrown ball gives it right back to the Comets. Just under 5 minutes as we're at 4:54 in motion. The running back now goes to the side of Solomon. In motion is Flowers, and now he'll go right back out and set. Now hand off to the side. That in beautiful run, open up the lane. It's just hard to say what else that was, but nice hole opened up for Mason Ullman. He's had himself a good night so far. He's slashing his way through the Pointers defense here, and now a 2nd down and 5. It looked like he gained a little bit more than that with just about 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. Solomon will now slow the offense down a little bit. Gets ready for the snap. Hard count once again, and now in motion, wide receiver to the top. That's number 3, Joshua Portillo. Now taking a snap, going right up the middle is Ullman, and he will just not be stopped. Offensive line still pushing, still fighting, and they will call motion stopped at about the 45-yard line of the Pointers. So it'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Comets. Nice methodical drive here, using the run game a lot. Haven't had the need to throw the football.
Definitely. It seems like their running game is clicking. Not that their passing game isn't, but it's looking good for them.
Looking good so far. As Solomon will get ready for the snap now, running back to his left. In motion is Flowers once again. Taking the snap now, looking like a little bit of a wheel route. Now they'll turn it into an out. Now pressure coming by the Pointers and going out to the edge, showing that versatility and turning it for about a 3 or 2 yard gain, as the Pointers will now take over. Or no, they won't take over. What am I talking about? Mayville State will now take over at the 40-yard line, 41, after the nice little athletic scamper there by the quarterback Solomon. But a nice play there just to really get away from that pressure, as Pointers had a unblocked linebacker coming in, and really he did what he could with the situation.
A great escape by him. Pointers really need to keep the quarterback contained as he hands it off in the middle.
Flip it out in the flat. Great play there by the big tight end, rumbling down the field, and he'll pick up a nice chunk yardage. That's number 87.
Chance Danner, sophomore out of Thompson, North Dakota, 6'5", tight end.
6'5", tight end, the big target for for Mayville State.
As we have a flag on the field.
Looks like, yep. Look. Now Solomon back, starting things up again here, as we're about 2 minutes flat to go here in the first quarter. In motion is Portillo. Now he'll go back out. Handoff right up the middle is Ullman, and he'll get met at the line of scrimmage by a bunch of Pointers. Great pressure there by Stevens Point, as they're able to just shoot right through that offensive line and stop for, looks like, no gain. They'll give them a yard, looks like. Make it 2nd down and 9. Solomon ready for the snap. Swinging the pistol, now motioning his running back to his side. In motion, the big tight end. Taking the snap of Solomon. He'll go over the middle. Got a wide open receiver cutting right down to the 2-yard line. Just a nice little post route, and taking it down to the 2-yard line is Malik Flowers. He's been all over the place today, as the Comets are threatening once again. Man, this offense has just been a juggernaut to start the game.
Definitely 100%. Especially Flowers. He's in motion almost every single play. Besides him and Portillo are. It seems like they're always in motion, always running around. They're definitely helping the offense here as they're on the goal line now.
Chase Danner really attracts a lot of attention there for the Comets as they'll hand it right up the middle to Allman. He'll just fight his way right into the end zone. That's a 2-yard touchdown run as the Comets will take a 10-point lead. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. What a way to start your season, Mayville State.
Definitely. Besides the 3 and out they had before, it's definitely looking good. 2 out of 3 drives scoring a touchdown.
So Mayville State will take the 13-3 lead as the point after is up and plenty good, making it a 14-3 lead for Mayville State. Well, you're in an early hole here, Stevens Point. What do they got to do? Get a return here. And starting off from about his 2-yard line now, nice little opening and a slashing his way in, still on his feet, and going up to about the 28-yard line. So nice pass there, or nice run, but return by the Pointers. Now has them set up with a nice little 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Nice little return. Good blocking coming out to allow that. But this is a crucial drive here. Pointers got to get more points on the board because this Mayville State offense doesn't look like they're
They're not stopping.
They're not
stopping.
Soon. They've been a juggernaut so far. Schroeder will now get in motion. Is the wide receiver, and getting strung out for a tackle was Aguilera. Man, that was just blown up by number 9, Demetrius Winters, the 6'2 junior out of Cartersville, Georgia.
I definitely read the jet sweep there.
Yeah, he saw that was coming. As that'll do it for the first quarter, as the Pointers are down by 11 to start this one, as it's Mayville State 14, UW Stevens Point 3, and Point will be facing a 2nd down and 17, getting just blown up on that play was Aguilera. What was that, just a scouting report that he saw that and just knew it was coming, or is that just experience of just sitting on the line and knowing,
I think
this will be a play?
Maybe it's just experience. Along with that, it's hard to say it's scouting. Not a lot of film out yet, I assume, for these teams, unless they just saw it last year and they look at the jet motion and say, how can we prevent this from killing our team here? But maybe some of it is experience. Winters is a junior. Maybe he just read it perfectly and it helped him.
So 2nd down and 17 once we start the second quarter here. Pointers are in a little bit of a hole to start their first drive of the second quarter. I mean, they're already in the drive, but starting the second quarter with the ball. 14-3 is your score. Again, you're listening to Pointers football here on WWSP Stevens Point 90 FM and SPTV. As Schrader will now get the offense set to go here, second quarter, as he will get ready for the snap. Another low snap, and
Pointers here as they're lining up to punt.
Punting from their own goal line are Stevens Point. And the punt is away, and not a fairly deep one. Should have a chance for a turn, but running right down the field. It's bobbling the kick, but getting back on top of it, I believe, are the Comets. Good kick there by Unger to kind of pin them back. So we apologize for any technical difficulties going on here. As we got 13:27 to go here in the second quarter, and Mayville State, an offensive juggernaut to start this one here, as Solman will look back to pass. Nice little easy hitch route and bouncing off tacklers. Man, Javion Davison has been doing that all night thus far. He has been just all these wide receivers for Mayville State have just been able to just bounce off of Stevens Point. Is it just their raw athleticism, or is it just poor tackling by Stevens Point?
I would say maybe it's a little bit of both. Not saying that the Pointers are terrible tackling, but they got to rally to the ball and make those tackles when they're there.
So 2nd down and 3, as in motion is Flower. Looks like he almost slipped there. And a low snap by Solman. He'll hand it up. Nope, he'll fake it, throw it out to the cornerback to Padilla, and really tackling up high. He's a little fortunate, are the Pointers. That's number 7, Larry Bowe. As, yeah, he was tackled the guy up high, and not a very pretty looking hit.
But he kept them from the first down as it is 3rd and 1.
There, absolutely. Now here's a we talked about crucial moment as now Stevens Point looking to try to get off the field, but 3rd down and 1 is a spot where Mayville State hasn't really been able to be stopped, and they're going to look to throw at it, and wide open, a wheel route going right down the sideline. Oh, nice hit to get out of bounds, and that's number 24, Cole Duckert, the running back for the Comets, the senior out of Killdeer, North Dakota. But a
really quick, very athletic player.
What a drive there by the Comets. They just went right down the field, scored another touchdown as Stevens Point's defense has been reeling.
100% on that. It's not looking pretty as the kick is up, and it is good. I'll make it a 21-3 ball game.
Sorry if anybody listening had some. We're having some technical difficulties up here in the box, as we're hopefully back in on this one, as it is now 21-3. Thank you, Brody, for grabbing that. If I'm not careful, you'll be taking my job. But 21-3 here, and Pointers, they were looking sharp on that first drive, and then really shot themselves in the foot. You look at Mayville State; they've been just an offensive juggernaut to this point.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the receivers are catching well. They're finding the holes there, and like we said, Pointers are really shooting themselves in the foot, and it's not helping them out. But a lot of ball game left. We're not playing halves, and it's still a lot of ball game. It's only 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second quarter. It's still a lot of time to turn this around, but it's really got to start now.
Without question, points and a touchdown need to come on this drive. I think they need to let Schroeder air it out a bit, because really they've been playing rather conservative to this point. A few deep shots, but other than that, the Pointers have not stretched the field much, and now taking a return, now running with a full head of steam, and getting up to about the 32-yard line. That is number 15 for the Pointers, Jordan Richardson.
Cashin.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking at the wrong.
Bryson
start being competitive here, as we're going to start back into this one after the injury timeout, and hand up the middle, trying to fight for it, and looks like he'll have the yardage. Barely, just barely will he have it, as Stevens Point will move the sticks.
Just got enough on it with 8:50 left here in the second quarter. I definitely will say, I do look at the new scoreboard now, and it's an amazing sight to see, getting these Pointers fans into it. As Schrader is under center.
Schrader takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff. Now keeps rolling, and he should have just thrown that one way away. He took the sack mistake there by Schrader on that one. Once again, folks, we're just sorry for the technical difficulties we've been having here.
Might have got a little bit of maybe half a yard there on the carry. But definitely he should have thrown it away. A lot of good coverage by Mayville State here. As we're just under 8 minutes in the second quarter. Schrader now in pistol here.
2nd down and 9 here as Schrader will get the snap, and now he'll hand it off up the middle and fighting for what looks like 2 or 3 yards on this one. It'll make it about a 3rd down and 7 to go. So one of these plays where the Pointers have really this is a got to have it down. You got to get at least half of this, I would think, because you need points on this drive. When you're down by 18, 21-3, you got to get something. And looks like Schrader's going to have trips to his right and a running back to his side. I believe that's number 30, Reed Smith, as he'll drop back to pass, bringing a blitz with the Comets in now. Schrader will have to roll to his side. He's got some room if he can make it to the sticks, and he goes
Looks
right
like he
to about.
Just does. I think he just got it there by a yard.
So it looks like for the moment, Stevens Point will move the sticks, as it looks like they will. So great job scrambling out of that by Trey Schrader, and now the Pointers are on the move. They play Who Let the Dogs Out.
Very fitting for the Pointers here.
This is pretty fitting. As now a snap, handoff to Schrader, now handing it off to the side, now slicing up, nice little run, digging.
Drive down the field. It really sets it up for the Pointers now to hopefully put some points on the board.
Absolutely, as got plenty of time here to get some points out of this one. As Schrader will now take the snap, he'll hand it off up the middle and banging his way down to about the 10-yard line. Looks like that was number 15, Bryson Cashin, the 5'10 freshman out of Plover. So Pointers threatening once again. Here we go. Offensive Schrader now pointing, checking the defense. In motion is the fullback. Taking the snap. He'll hand it off the middle to Cash, and he'll slice his way straight into the end zone. Touchdown, Pointers. Great response there. Beautiful hole opened up by the offensive line, and Stevens Point cashes in as they will make this a 21-9 game, as awaiting the extra point, but a great offensive possession there by the Pointers puts 6 on the board.
That's definitely a huge turnaround for the offense here now. Hopefully they continue this for the rest of the game, as Pontiero lines up for the kick here.
As the kick is up and plenty good. That makes it a 21-10 score. Stevens Point gets a much needed touchdown, as we got ourselves a ball game, folks. That was about the drive that Stevens Point needs to, you would say, copy and paste the rest of the game, because that was about as textbook as it gets. Run up the middle, open up play action pass, run out to the outside, really just going all over the route tree for wide receivers and all over the playbook for run plays.
100% there, Will. It definitely looked great for the Pointers, opening up the holes for your running backs to run down the field, run down their throats, especially since Mayville State's been bringing a ton of pressure.
That was really the first time they had that defense on their heels. For a moment, it seemed like they're gassed. Now, this is a situation where just under 5 minutes, Stevens Point has 3 timeouts left. You get a 3 and out. A chance to put another 6 on the board, make this game even more interesting.
Yeah, still a ton of time left in the first half here, as Pontiero is lining up for the kick here.
As we are getting ready here, Pontiero, as Brody said, he will send this one away. Deep kick, as it'll be fielded at the yard line by who else, number 1, and now slashing his way up the middle. I'm assuming that was a gain of about 2. If you stop for no yardage, maybe get a sack here. Do you take a timeout? Or do you let the play clock? Because you got plenty of time here, 4 minutes.
Definitely plenty of time. This play clock is still running. I wouldn't call a timeout. I wouldn't waste them too much.
Give yourself time for that 2-minute drill?
Definitely. Give enough timeouts here as motions to the left, as motions is tight end to the right.
Snap over the middle. Got a wide open, but dropped. What a beautiful play setup, but just not able to get it. As big tight end Chase Danner sure attracts a lot of attention. Every time he motions, you see a point linebacker moving with him. But here we go. Don't need to take a timeout with an incomplete pass. That makes it 4 minutes and 5 seconds. As now the Pointers with the real chance to get the ball back with plenty of time. This could be a huge, huge point in the game. As Solomons now get ready for the snap. No motion is running back to his right in motion once again, the tight end, taking the snap and fake the handoff up the middle, stepping away, throwing out to a sky. Got a wide open receiver, and is he inbounds? I believe not. That will be an incomplete pass. Good pressure there by the Pointers. Maybe had that one sail out of the hand of Solomon. It'll be a 3 and out, just what the doctor ordered, and Stevens Point's going to get the ball back.
Huge stop for the Pointers there.
Big time. No timeouts used, so look at that. You got 3 timeouts and just under 4 minutes to go. Snap a little high, but corralled by the kicker, and he'll get this one up away. A little of a short kick and fair caught at around the 38-yard line. So 3:51 to go here. Stevens Point down by 11 with the ball, though. Got good field position and a chance to add to this, or try to add to the momentum here. As we're going to try to get some more technical situations taken care of.
Looks like Schroeder in the... Looks like shotgun, maybe pistol, handoff in the middle.
Up the middle, nothing doing on that one. But, oh, they surge a little forward, getting about 1 or 2 yards. Didn't look like there was really anything going on that until Reed Smith. A lot of youngsters getting a lot of playing time in this one, and they're showing why. I mean,
definitely 100% with that. It helps having those freshmen, sophomore players that can play well now and hopefully build on it for the future. Not to discredit any of the seniors or juniors, but it definitely helps as a handoff to the outside, and he finds
breaking his way up the middle, and he may be gone. To the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, trying to catch him. They can't, and a touchdown by the Pointers. What a play going right up the middle. I believe that's Reed Smith with the touchdown. And hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves that play as we got the score is 21-16.
And we still got 3 minutes left. Oh, man.
3 minutes indeed.
Field goal is good by Pontiero.
That'll make it 21-17. Comet still on top, but all the momentum in the favor of the Pointers. As, wow, I'm not going to lie, for a minute there, it seemed like it was going to be a little rough as the Pointers were down 21-3, and really nothing looked like it was going right on their end. And they were able to finally just cash it in, and now they got all the momentum in the world as Stevens Point now will look to try to get the ball. They got plenty of time left. You get another 3 and out. You got 3 timeouts left. There's a chance to make this a completely different ball game.
100%. Granted, Mayville State still has 3 timeouts too, but it's definitely looking better for the Pointers. Hopefully they can build off these two touchdowns and look to drive the ball, hopefully with some time left on the clock, and make it maybe a 21-20 ball game, or even a 24-21 ball game, whatever the case may be.
Without question, a final score, UW Eau Claire able to sneak away from Loras College in Iowa 30-27. A lot of close games, but other than that, UW River Falls really stands out, blowing out Elmhurst 63-0 on the road. As a lot of WIAC football action. Surprisingly, UW Whitewater taking an L in the first week, convincing loss actually, losing by 14 points, and now running the ball back. And really, man, you just look at the way he runs the ball. That's number 0, Mason Ullman. He just runs with such a versatility, I want to say, if that's a proper word for that.
I would definitely say it. He's running. He looks like he's running low, looking to find those holes created by his kick return team. And definitely, like we said before, he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do everything. He can run the ball, catch it, and kick return.
So now Solman at the 25-yard line, and he'll get his running back in motion now. Tight end or wide receiver in motion. He'll take the snap, another low snap, and he'll go right up the middle. That was number
24.
Number 24. That will be
Cole Duckert.
Cole Duckert,
the senior out of Killdeer, North Dakota.
As it is now 2nd down and 7. As the snap coming to someone in motion is his running back / tight end. Now running, looks like a wheel route. Now go right over the middle, and that looked like a late hit. They're pretty fortunate that the Stevens Point didn't get hit with a penalty there, because that was a very much a late hit. But once again, 3rd down and 7. Stevens Point now with a chance to get the ball back. Man, what a momentum swing this has been.
Definitely. We still have a little over 2 minutes left here in the first half. A big 3rd down here for the Pointers. It's 3rd and 7.
Here comes the snap. In motion, the running back. In motion is Flowers. Or make that Padillo. They'll get it out to him. Little bubble screen action. Getting pressure are the Pointers, and they will give up nothing.
Might have lost yards there, too. That's a huge stop for the Pointers.
Big time stop by Stevens Point.
As the Mayville State looks like they're going to punt the ball.
Yeah,
maybe
looks like it.
Looks like they called a timeout.
4th down and 9. Stevens Point, I believe, probably called that. Is the people who called the timeout, and they are. So they'll get the ball back with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go and 2 timeouts. What a what a swing of events here. Look, 21-3, nothing going the Stevens Point's way. All of a sudden, it's 17-21. Now time to get the ball back as the offense is finally clicking here. Really, it's just been a completely different game.
100%. It's looking very good for the Pointers right now. Hopefully they can build off this momentum on this potentially final drive. Maybe bring it into the second half.
The way the offense is going, maybe they'll get 2 more in after this possession.
And they also get to return it, they get
the ball to start the second half. That's absolutely correct. See, that's why we have you up here, Brody. You remember the things that I don't.
I remember. Sometimes I remember things, but a lot of things I do remember.
They're useful, is what. The punt is up and away. Not a very deep kick, as Stevens Point will just back off. That may have touched a pointer, and that could be catastrophic. And I think it did touch a pointer. And now Mayville State will get the ball back. Wow, big time mistake. Got to know where you're at on the field.
Yeah, definitely. Sidelines got to be yelling where the ball is, got to yellow.
Returner's got to point out where they're
definitely, too. Very short punt, too. I almost thought he wasn't going to get it there. But definitely fortunate for Mayville State here as they're down to the 26th, it looks like.
So big time swing in momentum as Mayville State had absolutely nothing going offensively the past 2 drives. Now they're handed the ball at Stevens Point's 33-yard line and 3 timeouts. Chance to really throw a gut punch here to end the half. In motion is Flowers. He'll set back out, now handing it out up the middle, and Stevens Point defense corrals it and only gives up about 3 or 4. They'll give them about 4, make it a 2nd down and 6. 2nd down and 8, man. From this
vantage point, it looks a lot shorter.
It sure does. This time is ticking away, and this is where you got to wonder if Stevens Point can stop them for no gain. You take a timeout, limit a field goal attempt, give yourself some time to try to get some points to start the second half, or are you content with being down 4? Snap coming in motion. Davison, good to see him back out on the field. He'll take the jet sweep handoff. He'll bounce up the middle and get pretty close to about a 5-yard gain on that. It'll make it down. It'll make it 3rd down and manageable here with just under a minute to go. This is a big sequence of event here. You get a stop, force only a field goal. Haven't played the timeout game, so it doesn't seem like they're going to have enough time to go down the field. But this isn't a cheap shot, cheapy either.
It definitely isn't here as motions to the right.
Motion again, the tight end looks like they're maybe going to run it out there. Now fake, he'll go deep. Was looking for Davison. Instead, he'll get tracked down by the Pointers, and he'll get sacked for looks like about a 5-yard loss. That's number 95. Let me find
Connor
out.
Jeske, a junior out of Colby, Wisconsin.
What a big-time sack. Now that makes decision-making here a lot more difficult because obviously this would be a really deep kick, and regardless, it wouldn't matter whether or not they attempted a field goal or not. If you miss it, you give it to them in good spot. If you try to go for it and miss it, you give them good position. What's the strategy here? Because now you got 4th down and 10. You're on the fringe of field goal range. Do you go for it, or you got only 13 seconds left?
Yeah, that's the thing too. 13 seconds left. I wouldn't force a field goal if maybe their kicker is a stud and just drills it, but it's hard to say. You could give them the ball with like 13 or 10 seconds left. Or potentially get a 1st down here with a little bit of time left and still 2 timeouts left for both teams. It looks like they're sending their offense out in the field here.
Yeah, I would actually think this is actually a very smart play call because you're on fringe field goal range. This is probably asking quite a bit for a college player, and it's 4th down and 10, so it's the odds aren't in your favor, but it's not impossible to pick up a 4th down and 10. Now, this is where the Pointers defense can't give up a pass interference call. Don't give them a cheap 1st down. They may just be trying to draw them off sides here. Looks like they were trying to get a free play. That's a really interesting strategy that I'm not sure I really understand.
Gain 5 yards. It might be enough for your kicker, but it's
true. But it's one of those things where it's kind of an all or nothing situation with only 15 seconds left. If you're gonna go for it, you're gonna go for it. If you're not, then send the kicking team out there.
Exactly. With 15 seconds left, it's still enough. Not it could be enough time for the Pointers to potentially get the ball back and score. Anything's possible, but seems a little
interesting as they're gonna send the offense out there again. So that could have been a situation where they just legitimately ran out of time, or they weren't paying attention to the play clock. Now Solman will get the ball back.
Pointers in prevent defense here.
Yeah, they're only rushing 3 on this one. Would be surprised if they even rush that much. In motion, wide receiver now stepping back to pass. Now pressure up the middle by the Pointers, and Solman can throw for it. He's got an open man, and that is bobbled. Is it caught by Davison? No. He'll drop, and he is down again. So with 8 seconds to go in the half, Davison is down. Now, that sequence of events was interesting to say the least because you weren't going to pick up. I mean, you were going for the first down yard line, but you were going inbounds. Is that the situation where you want to just call a timeout as soon as that, get up and kick the field goal, or what? It was.
I mean, hard to say. It's, maybe they'll try. As it looks like the Pointers are just kneeling the ball here to run the clock out.
As they will, and that it'll make it a 4-point game. Could have been a little different there if Stevens Point was able to recover that punt, but nonetheless, they have made this a game once again. 14 unanswered points to make this a 21-17. Scoreboard has it wrong. They say 24-17. But we'll head to the halftime here with the score of the Comets on top of the Pointers, 24-17. You're listening to WWSP Stevens Point, 90 FM and SPTV. And a welcome back here to Gerke Field here on this beautiful September 3rd night. You are listening to Pointers Football here on WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, and SPTV. 17-21, Mayville State on top of the Pointers here at halftime. We'll go over a little bit of some halftime stats here as we approach the beginning of the second half. Obviously the score 17-21 in Mayville State University. But interestingly, Stevens Point has more net attempts, 22 carries for 137 yards of running. But Stevens Point, 3 fumbles, 1 lost. That crucial lost fumble, I think they're going to call that kickoff, or the punt fumble by the Pointers when they had a chance to take the lead there at the end of the second half.
Definitely. That might have been a moment of swing from the end of the second half to towards Mayville State because they got him good field position, although they didn't do too much with it. But maybe there's a momentum swing. Maybe the Pointers will come in the second half here, as they will be receiving the second half here. Maybe they'll use that to hopefully drive down the field.
Reed Smith for the Pointers, he's got 86 yards and 1 touchdown rushing. Seth Forbes, 41 yards and no touchdowns. Bryson Cashin, 17-1. But Trey Schroeder, 2 for 4, 29 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. On the other side, Tim Salmon, 11 for 19, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's been looking very sharp this game. And a few big-time runs by Mason Ullman. He's got 32 yards and a touchdown. Really, those two have been, and Javion Davison, 9 targets and 112 yards with 61 yards after the catch and 2 touchdowns. Had himself a first half.
Oh, definitely. Without saying, he was doing everything, as we'll talk about. You know, he had 112 yards receiving. He also had, it looks like he had a punt return, but he also had 26 yards on kick returns. And the guy, it looks like he could do everything, but he was slowing down a little bit. He looked like he might have been injured slightly on a couple plays, but the way he's playing, there might not be a whole lot stopping him.
No, without question. And he's obviously going to probably be the focus of their offense to start the second half, because up until the point where he got injured, the Mayville State offense had really been struggling. And without him, they haven't really had much on offense. That being said, 21-17, they still have the lead, but you have to think that a lot of the momentum is in favor of the Pointers, even if it kind of sizzled out a little bit at the end of the half, not being able to score. But still, nonetheless, Pointers feels like they have the momentum here.
Definitely 100%. The way they looked at this end of the second half there, it looked like they're the better ball team here. And definitely with it, home field advantage with the Pointers here. It definitely gives them a little bit of an edge against Mayville State here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we look at the scoring breakdown, to start the game, it was Javion Davison, 41 yards pass touchdown from Tim Salmon, excuse me. And then Pontario with a field goal after that. And then Ullman, 1-yard touchdown run, followed up by Javion Davison, another touchdown catch, and then 2 straight Pointers touchdowns, one by Bryson Cashin, 10-yard touchdown rush. And then following that one up, Reed Smith with a 58-yard touchdown rush. That would make a 2-play, 61-yard drive. 2, relatively not necessarily short field, but they're not going the full length of the field. So
definitely with that, in between about a 2-minute stretch there, they had 2 touchdowns. That might give them an edge to say, oh, we can score the ball, which the Pointers definitely can. They have shown a lot of potential in the first half. They showed a lot of potential, but also with that, they also were kind of hurting themselves with low snaps. The interception from Schrader, and hopefully for the Pointers, it doesn't they can limit those mistakes, be smart with the ball, and don't be afraid to take some shots here.
Absolutely. They have yet to really air it out down the field. Sure, there have been plays that have gone for 40-some yards. That being said, it was from an athletic play like a Reed Smith catching like what was essentially kind of a bubble screen and taking it to the house, or they've been not necessarily deep shots, but they've been large, big chunks gained by the Pointers that have been to some of their scores. But as you alluded to, the Pointers will start with the ball to start the second half with really all the momentum in their favor.
Along with that, too, a lot of good run plays out of the Pointers, finding holes to lead up the middle here, as looks like Braden Lacombe here to kick, the freshman out of Peoria, Arizona.
I think what's important to understand here is the Pointers get the ball to start the second half, but they shouldn't try to force anything to get a touchdown because they got all the momentum as the kickoff is up and the second half underway here as the Pointers are going to return this, and finding hopping his way through the hole and up the middle, and he may be gone to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Pointers. What a way to start the second half as Bryson Cashin takes it to the house, giving the Pointers a lead. What a way to start the half.
That's really how you want to start the half out. That is a huge play. Great blocking up front by the Pointers there in the kickoff. Definitely a huge play by Cash in there. He's having himself a night here for the Pointers. That's huge.
Big time, big time. We were talking about how you don't want to force a touchdown because, a field goal, it's a one-point game. But, hey, Pointers go right down the field via Cashin as he was very cautious. They just quickly run a guy on field. They didn't have enough. This is the extra point coming from Pontario. And it is up and plenty good, giving the Pointers a 3-point lead, 24-21. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, 13 seconds, and Pointers got the lead.
We're talking about the momentum shift there. It's very huge for the Pointers.
And we'll take that all night. All night.
100% on that. Let's hope the Pointers can use that momentum, hype them up a little bit, have a good defensive stall here. Hopefully they can stall them here on defense.
Yeah, get a 3-and-out. That was about, we were talking about the first drive of the game. It couldn't have gone worse for the Pointers defense. This first drive to start the second half couldn't have gone better for the Pointers offense because it really wasn't the offense. It was the special teams that took it all the way to the house.
Definitely. And that's what we were talking about pregame. We were talking about how all three phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, they're all important in their own way. And that definitely showed right there how the special teams portion, it can put you ahead. It
can change the game. A big goof earlier in the first half is the Pointers muffed a punt, which we could have been at a 24-21 kind of game here to start the end of to start the half. But, things played out the way it did. And now it's 24-21 Pointers as Pontario will kick the ball away. And the Comets will look to try to combat that Stevens Point offensive juggernaut as they have a chance for themselves as they break it up the sideline and get to about the 38-yard line. So a good return for Mayville State as they get to about the 38-yard line. That's a nice shot of medicine right in the arm to get yourself a good field position, 38-yard line, 1st and 10 Comets. But, yeah, both special teams kind of starting this half off a little hot.
100% with that. It's a huge game for them as they set up here on offense. Maybe they'll stay it.
Solomon looking to get ready for the snap. He's in the shotgun. He'll now motion his running back to his left. That's number 24, Cole Duckert. He'll take the snap, now looking deep, trying to set up in the pocket, now throwing a flag. This looks like it's in the area of holding, so I think this will come back in a fumble. Ball's on the turf, and the Pointers recover. That's number 24, Carson Van S. as it looks like the indication was it was a hold on the Comets, but a fumble. As are they going to call the play dead and have him come back?
Personally, it could hurt the Pointers here if they go back, which it looks like they are. Good recovery there by the Pointers, by Van Ness, a sophomore out of Two Rivers, Wisconsin.
I don't know why they have to call the play dead, though.
It didn't look dead to me. It looked pretty clear, which is a little odd. Hopefully the Pointers can use this to hopefully get the ball back. A little odd circumstances here, but...
Yeah, a little confused as to why this is the case. Are they going to say... I don't understand. Maybe they're going to say it was an incomplete pass. I really am confused at why.
Looked like he had at least 3 steps on it, but
very
handoff
confused.
off the middle.
Handoff up the middle by Duckert, and that'll go absolutely nowhere. Pointers defense just swarming him. That is a key moment in the game. I don't want to say that's a goof on the referee's part because they obviously have better eyes than all of us. But that's a really interesting situation because I don't recall I've ever seen a situation where there's been a hold and a fumble in the same possession and it's a dead ball, plays dead.
Definitely, I don't know how that all works at the college level. You know, it might be a little different at the NFL level or even high school level. But as he gets ready to snap the ball here.
Either way, someone will get ready as Duckert will go to his side in motion. The tight end now back over as he'll take the snap, looking like he'll do a wheel, and he will over to Duckert. He'll make one man miss and pick up a good little chunky yardage. Pick up about 5, and it'll make this a 3rd down and 12, or 13 rather. Nope, 3rd down and 12. Should have gone with my gut on that one, but yep, another opportunity here for the Pointers as they can get off the field, but yeah, still a little confused on that that call.
Yeah, I don't know how it all works, but what I have been noticing out of the Pointers, they have been stuffing the run game a lot. Their passing game, Mayville State's really getting their deep shots here as they...
To see if Pointers may bring a little edge pressure here. Send to extra, are they going to drop down in coverage? They only send 4 going up in the middle. He could definitely run. Instead, he'll take a deep shot, got a man open, and it is up and caught. What a play there by number 19, Reese Smith, the 6'3 senior out of Moore Park, California. What a play, a beautiful ball there by Solman, and they get plenty of yardage as now the Comets enter the red zone. What a big time play there by Mayville State.
Oh, very huge for them. That's, I mean, it really made up for their holding call there and their run game getting stopped here, but that's a huge detriment to the Pointers too with that.
Is the snap coming from Solman? He'll do a little hard count. Now look, motion the tight end out. Now he'll motion back. Snap coming, handoff up the middle to Duckert, and he will keep the legs churning and get to about the 11-yard line, or excuse me, the 6-yard line, and then they'll call it dead. But let's all look back to that one play, though. The one play we said to circle was a fumble, but for whatever reason they called it back on holding. Pointers would have had the ball, but instead the Comets were able to convert on 3rd down. Now, Stevens Point should have stopped them on 3rd down and long, but even still, this is a situation that maybe a lot of people are going to circle because that was a controversial call potentially.
Oh, definitely. It's the tight end is definitely motioning as the pass goes out. Incomplete to the man of the night, Javion Davison. When it comes down to it, it's a huge detriment to the Pointers because now they gave up a big play, which hurts them a lot. They would have had the ball on it looked like roughly the 18-yard line off the fumble, but now it's, third and goal for Mayville State.
3rd and goal. This is a big down here. If Stevens Point can force even a stop field goal, maybe in motion is Flowers. Now he'll get back out. Solman the pass. He'll go quick. Nice out route, and that is incomplete. Beautiful play there Looks like that was number 7, Larry Bowe. What a great play there by the Pointers defensive back. And here's the decision here for the Comets. Do you stick the offense on the field? No, looks like they're just going to go for the tie.
That was a huge play for the Pointers, a hard hit to, it looked like the receiver, number 8, Elijah Roundtree, a sophomore out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. That's a huge stop for the Pointers. Hopefully, who knows, he could miss a field goal here, could get blocked, and keep it a...
Gotta stay home for the fake, too. This is...
You never know at this level.
Never know. Field goal is up, and that is good. We got ourselves a tie ball game. So we got 24 all, 11:25 to go to begin the second half here. But wow, we got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely don't tune away. This is going to be one exciting finish. As we got 11:25 to go, third quarter. Pointers and Comets tied up. Obviously we talked about the potentially controversial call of the fumble called back. But what was your views on that possession there?
You know, the Pointers did a lot of great things. The run game was definitely stopped there. That huge pass, you know, the Pointers could eliminate those, getting their corners or safeties, or I guess I should say defensive backs, to turn around, look for the ball. It seemed like they were a little slow on that, but, you know, it's the first game of the season. It's a lot to handle for them. And really, they made a great stop, only limited them to 3, which, you know, could have been a lot worse.
Credit number 7, Larry Bowe, with that, breaking up what was a absolute out-route touchdown, Mayville State University lead. So we'll see how the Pointers can respond. Last time they had a kickoff, if you remember, that went all the way to the house, giving them a lead. So here we go. Pointers now with the ball once again, and that'll be taken in at about the 5-yard line and running up the sideline. And here we go again at the 40, close to about midfield and fighting their way out of bounds. What a return again. Goodness, the Pointers special teams is on a different level to start this second half.
Like we're talking about, it really comes down to all 3 facets of the game. The special teams being there to set up the offense, or even score by themselves, set up the defense potentially, you know. It's a huge it's huge for the Pointers, I should say.
Absolutely, and a great way to start the possession as the ball's now at midfield as Trey Schroeder will now look to give the Pointers back the lead as he'll stand in the shotgun, gets the snap. He'll now turn it hand, and a big hole right to the right side, as I believe that's number 28 for the Pointers. That is Seth Forbes.
Seth Forbes, a senior out of Manawa, Wisconsin. Before he had a carry, couldn't get a number on him, but he's looking a really good for the Pointers offense here. In the first half, he had 41 yards, as Schrader motions number 40.
As Schrader will now take a snap, another low snap. It'll go right back to him. Keep feeding him, and that'll pick up only about 4. So that'll make it about 3rd down and 3, a long 3. If they're going to say he gained anything, it certainly looked like he did. So 3rd down and 4 for the Pointers here. After the great field position, you got to feel like this is the kind of play you got to dial up to get a first down. You don't get as good a field position as this and
waste it away.
Maybe this is if you can make it 4th down in one situation, 4th down and short. Do you go for it? You never know. Schrader gets ready for the snap. He'll take it and fake the handoff. Instead, he'll bootleg it, throw it out to the flat, to the tight end, and he will get there. Looks like he'll get to the first down yardage. Great play call there, and maybe a little short.
Catch made by Matt Gettin.
It is 4th down in inches.
The freshman
Goodness.
out of Wisconsin Dells. And it's a good play call. He was, wide open, but Great stop by Mayville State.
Got to
hold
credit
them.
the defense on that. And here we go. 4th down and less than a foot as they're going to crowd the line. Stevens Point will hand the football off, and they'll get stood up and stopped by the Comets. Oh, my goodness. Gamble does not work out as the Comets just stuff the Pointers and a big-time stop. And now Mayville State will have the football with great field position. Goodness.
It's a great stop. They really read the run play there, which it's hard not to go for a run play there. Credit to the Mayville State defense on that play.
Yeah, without question. And now Mayville State and Solomon take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Motions Flowers. Takes the snap, now hands it off, up the middle. Nope, fake it, flip it out into the flat to the tight end with a blocker in front, and he'll get escorted out of bounds after a gain of about 9, 10. They'll say he'll get there, and he'll pick up the 1st down. Nice little chunk play to start the drive, and they'll get into Pointers territory.
Yeah, smart play there to throw it to your 6'5" tight end. It's perfect read by Solomon there.
Great play there. This seems like the Comets offense that we saw in the first couple of drives of the game. They're kind of getting their stuff back together now as Ullman will move to the side. Now the tight end, big number 87, Chase Denner, and he'll get sacked in the backfield.
Ullman on the carry for a loss of negative. It looks like -2.
3. Yep, there you go. But good. Sorry to cut you off there, Brody. But good penetration there by the Pointers defense.
Like I was saying before, a lot of good stuff from the Pointers defense in the run game. They've been really stopping them here in this second half, and even at the end of the first half, they were really looking well against them.
Here comes Solomon. Got Ullman now. Renner to his right, in motion, now rolling out to his side, just getting pushed back, and here comes that nice little throw, athletic play, and deflected. Looking to go deep, and nothing doing. As we got 7 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Is now Stevens Point with a big chance to get a stop on defense. Both defenses have really been rising to the occasion a lot tonight, getting stops when they need it. Now that I say that, of course,
I wouldn't jinx it too much, but hey,
I'll knock on wood.
The way it's looking, Pointers defense is looking pretty
Solomon
well.
will take the snap. He instantly pressured. Oh, that looked like a takedown. That looked like a hold all day. Instead, he'll scamper, and he'll try to pick up the 1st down, and he will. Man, Mayville State got away with one. Mason Ullman tackled a guy, and referees just didn't see it. That was I hate to say it, a massively blown call because the defender was essentially just sandwiched to the ground, when you grab a hold of a guy's jersey and take him down, that's not legal.
Well, definitely not legal, but with that, you got to try to stop the quarterback, try to keep him contained. But
ooh, they're going to get too many men on the field past the huddle, I believe. Yep. Too many men on field is the call.
Definitely not great for Mayville State to start out your 1st down there.
No, certainly not. 1st down and 15 for the Comets. 7:14 to go. 24-all is your score. As this has been a real back-and-forth game. Mayville State had all the momentum, starting off the lead 21-3. Stevens Point stormed all the way back with 21 unanswered points to take the lead 24-24. Mayville State field goal makes it to make it 24-21. Mayville State ties it up, makes it 24-all. And here we go, another deep shot here, and down the middle, that one skips off the carpet, incomplete. as now they will have, that was the intended target with Malik Flowers. I believe they'll have second down and 15 here. But you got to credit that Pointers defense. They have really cranked up the pressure tonight here in the second half.
Definitely compared to the first half, it looked like they weren't getting after it. Not to say that they weren't, but they it's hard to say that they were getting after it right away. But they have been pressuring Selman here to make them run the ball.
In motion, the tight end. They're looking potentially get a false start. Almost looked like it, as now Solman will looking, still looking. All kinds of pressure in his face. Now just throws it away and nobody there. And looks like it should be intentional grounding as the ref is reaching for a hanky. Goodness. Didn't even look like it got back to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to say no intentional grounding. I'm interested. They said there was a receiver in the area, but
I don't think I saw a receiver
I didn't
over
either.
there. I mean, I don't know how big they consider the area for a receiver to be there, but
it's got to be within 5 yards from what I remember.
Is it? It's
and it's got to. I don't think the pass even made it past the.
It barely made it past as
the line of scrimmage, and now instant pressure in Solman's face, and he'll keep running, keep flush, throw across his body, and that pass is up and almost caught. Oh my goodness, what a crazy situation as the pass was going to Reese Smith. It could have been intercepted and it tipped up in his hands, falls incomplete, but what a sequence as it looks like, well, it's 4th down and 15.
Looks like they're keeping the offense on to try to.
Looks like maybe a pooch kick from the quarterback.
I mean, I don't know how much of a kicker he is.
It looks like it. Yep, he's backing up. Got a good kick away. Looking for a friendly bounce. It does not happen. But what a great job by the Pointers defense, staying strong and holding out Mayville State. 6-24, 24 all. Pointers get the ball back. That was a little strange sequence. Some missed calls, some just frantic play on both sides, but we're still even, and Pointers now have the ball back.
A very interesting drive, to say the least. Maybe the Pointers can take this and hopefully drive down the field here as Schrader sets up in the shotgun.
Got one back behind him. He'll take the snap and hand it off to the right. Going up, great patience there showed by the Pointers number 30, Reed Smith, 5'8" freshman. Great, just really taking what the defense gave him, following his block. That was a great run. Stevens Point getting back to the fundamentals, I want to say. Nice, they say only an 8-yard run, but
I definitely agree with that. And then with that, he really found the outside lane that was wide open for him, set up by his blockers, which is huge for the Pointers.
Handoff, back up the middle, get right back to him, and why not? Picks up just about enough for the first down. Stevens Point will move the sticks unless they say, they'll say he was tackled a little short. They'll make it third down and just under a yard. Third down in inches. Last time Pointers had a down in inches situations, they got stuffed. 4th down and 1. This Mayville State defense, credit both defenses today. They have been giving, despite them being big plays, both defenses have really risen up to the occasion in multiple spots. Now Schrader will take the snap. He'll hit it up the middle, looking for another run and fighting his way. And I don't know, as of the spot right now, it looks like the refs are going to give it to him. They are. They're going to say first down, Pointers. That will stop the clock for the moment.
And it looks like we have an injured player in the field. Looks like number 2 for Mayville State. Trent Carlson, a senior out of Park River, North Dakota. It looks like they gave them the first down, but, maybe they'll – it looks like they're moving the chains now. Potentially, yeah, now they're moving them.
Looks like we don't obviously want to speculate, but both training staffs are on the field, and this looks Hasn't really moved much since he hit the ground, so
Looks very
we
serious.
hope that everything's okay with him. But let's get back to this. We'll get back to the game itself. Stevens Point, and I mean this has been virtually a deadlock. This two teams really delivering haymakers to one another as he's able to get up and walk off his own power. You were correct. It's number 2, Trent Carlson for the Comets. He actually even jogs to the sideline. So it's good to see him up and moving about. Stevens Point will have a first down, 1st and 10, but establishing the run here, I think, has been crucial for the Pointers so far.
Oh, 100%. They're really getting their lanes open for Reed Smith to find the running lanes to get him those first down yardage. Same thing with Seth Forbes, too.
Without question. Low snap. Just got to take this one and just pitch it. What a great play there by Schrader, as there was nothing doing, as he just kind of had to improvise on that one as another low snap. If there's been anything to discuss, it's been how often there have been low snaps. This one fell onto the carpet, and Stevens Point able to make something out of nothing and pick up a solid gain off of that, pick up 5 yards.
That's a huge gain for how the play started.
A broken play, as now Reed Smith is in the backfield, and out to his right, Jeffrey Williams, number 33, into the slot. He'll hand it off to Williams on end around, and he'll break free, and he has room. Here he goes up to the 43-yard line of Mayville State. What a great play there by number 33 for the Pointers, that's Jeffrey Williams. What a great play there.
That's a huge run for him, especially since he didn't have a ton of blockers out there for him, and he kind of bumbled and stumbled to looks like the 44-yard line. Great play by him. A credit to him.
We'll see the Pointers, like we said, methodical drives, establishing that run game. Now, do they take a shot now that they're on the other side of the field? Is this an appropriate time to take a shot? Instead, they'll run an end around, have blockers, a lot of open room, and running down the sideline was.
Looks like number 5
for the Pointers.
DJ
Jacobs, the wide receiver, catching the end around. Man, these have been a very well called offensive attack so far this second half. And this scoring run, the Pointers have had the 21-3 scoring run, very well called game offensively.
100%. It's really keeping Mayville State on their toes of what the Pointers are going to do, whether they're going to run the ball, maybe sky the ball here, who knows.
As Schrader will take the snap, he'll now turn to his left, hand it off, going up the field. Here goes Reed Smith, and he'll get stood up eventually after what looks like to be a gain of 5 or 6. That'll make it 2nd down and short. As the sun has officially set as the final light we have the rest of the day, we in this nightcap, still a great crowd here for the Pointers. All things considered, a decent crowd for Mayville State with the long trek they have to make to come over here.
Yeah, the big hike from North Dakota. It's good to see fans out for Saturday Night Football.
Couldn't really ask for much more than what you got here. A really great game as Schrader will now drop back to pass. A lot of pressure in his face, and that'll be a holding call all day on the Pointers as he'll run to his left, but that'll be coming back. Guilty party looks like for Stevens Point, number 58, Alan Jones III, the senior out of Milwaukee. See that one from up here. That one was pretty easy to call.
Very, very clear. And definitely something you don't want to see out of the Pointers, but still 2nd down. Not too long, but long enough.
So little mess up on the Jumbotron here, as it'll be about 2nd down and 14.
Looks to be that way, with 2:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Pointers, Comets, 24 all.
So now Schrader get the offense set here, 2nd down and long situation. Just want to pick up some yardage here, and he'll drop back to pass. Instant pressure in his face. You got to get rid of it. And he's dancing. still running, got to look for something, and he'll just scamper out of bounds after a no gain.
A lot of pressure out by Mayville State. A credit to them with their defense, like we've been talking about tonight. Both defenses have been showing a lot of pressure, a lot of great stuff in the second half. Good for Schroeder to get out of there, but you got to look for him. Hopefully get a guy open and make a big play here.
Got to get rid of it. Now Pointers 3rd down and 16. They'll actually say he lost a yard on that play. And now this is you play it safe and hand it off, or you take a shot and go to the end zone here. Bring in blitz, that's for sure. Got a guy open. Instead, they're going to throw a fade way deep. That'll be out of bounds, and looks like it'll be a punting situation here for Stevens Point. So the drive stalls, but Stevens Point able to move it, and we'll see what's the decision here. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a punt.
Not ideal for the Pointers. Maybe they can pin Mayville State deep here. Hopefully, great punt by Carter Unger, the senior of Waukesha.
Carter Unger getting ready for the snap. He is about 20 yards behind the play, and he'll get the snap. Ball is up. Ooh, this one looks a little deep, and it goes out of bounds at about the 15 or so. Ooh, 17-yard line.
17 and a half there.
First and 10 Comets. As we got now 1 minute and 9 seconds to go in the third quarter, as Mayville State will now take over. Well, no, they will now take over with a chance to take the lead here. Man, this is after that opening. We thought maybe a high-scoring half here. Opening kickoff touchdown for Stevens Point. Answer it with a field goal. Now Solman getting ready for the snap. He'll take the snap and he'll hand it up the middle, and running through that defense of Stevens Point and only picking up about 1 or 2 off of the play, maybe.
Look like 24 Cole Dukert on the carry.
Dukert and Ullman have really been the only real rushing attack that Mayville State have had at all tonight.
Definitely, they've been running the ball well, but credit to Stevens Point's defense. They've been stopping them run pretty well in the second half.
Without question. I mean, both defenses have risen up to the occasion when they need to. Solomon ready for the snap. In motion is Flowers, and now he'll head back out. Takes the snap under center. He'll fake the handoff, now roll it. Now pitch to the tight end. What a catch there by the tight end. Not a good pass, but having to reach behind him. That was number 8, Derek Frederick, the 6'4" sophomore out of Belcourt, North Dakota, having to really reach behind him, able to make the catch.
He really had to go after it to get the ball, which credit to him. That's a huge play for him.
Makes it another 3rd down situation. Third down and 2. A timeout, or excuse me, no, that'll be the end of the third quarter here. But man, what else could you ask for on week 1 for Stevens Point football? A 24-all game heading into the fourth quarter. This is going to be a fun finish here.
Hey, we all love exciting football. This is what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. But let's get to it. So Solomon has had himself no real mistakes has he made all this game. I would say he's played a really solid game. This in general, I'd say both teams have played. I mean, there have been mistakes here and there. Stevens Point threw an interception and gave up some big chunk plays. But in general, I think both sides, regardless of the outcome of this game, both coaches are going to have something beneficial to take away from this
definitely,
game.
there's a lot of positives that you can take away from both sides for the teams. And with that, there are some negatives you can take away, which it's every game. You're going to have positives. You're going to have negatives. When they go back to film here, they'll definitely look at what they did wrong, what they did right, build off it for next week. And this is what it's all about for first week of college football here.
So 3rd down and
looks like
3rd down and 2. In motion is the tight end Frederick. Here's the snap, the handoff up the middle to Duckert, and he will get the first down yardage. Plenty enough. Plenty enough room, and that'll move the sticks. But let's look here at the stats. Tim Salmon, he's quietly having himself a good game. 15 for 29, 237 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 54 yards on his longest pass attempt. So he's had himself a heck of a game, and that's kind of maybe being overshadowed by how well his receivers and running backs have played.
Oh, definitely 100%, especially for a sophomore too. I mean, a credit to him. That's a lot of pressure for a sophomore.
Reed Smith, the leading rusher for the Pointers, 102 yards rushing. And here's the snap, handoff right back up the middle to Duckert, and he had a little bit of daylight, and he'll bang his way all the way down to about the 37.5. They'll make it 38 yards. They'll make it 2nd down and 2. A nice chunk run.
Definitely, that's it's really starting to open up for Mayville State here. Like you were talking about before, Reed Smith, really great running tonight. 102 yards, touchdown.
Bryson Cashin with the 98-yard touchdown to start the half for Stevens Point. Is now 2nd down and 2 situation. This is maybe a chance for Mayville State to take a shot down the field. They'll hand it off instead right up the middle, and fighting for it should be about 1st down yardage. But Stevens Point got good penetration on that. So they'll say Duckert, did he get the 1st down? They're going to say 3rd down. They're going to say 3rd down in inches. Goodness.
Wow, I'm shocked. You were talking about they might take a shot down the field, and they're not afraid to take a shot down the field.
This could be a situation where it's 3rd down in inches. You know, everybody in the world thinks they're going to run the football here. This could be a thing where if you throw it deep, maybe you don't. If you catch it, great. If you don't, you got 4th down in inches. Here's motion in the backfield, and now penetration up the middle, and they're going to get the 1st down with ease, are the comments. But that run game has been methodical, and it has been working for Mayville State, and it's really been their key to the game.
Yeah, definitely, especially at the start of this 4th quarter here. We're talking about taking a shot deep. They also, Javion Davison, they could take a shot with him. They're not afraid to throw to him.
Javion Davison, that's absolutely correct. He's got 112 yards receiving on the game. Just been a monster. And now Mayville State will take the snap up the middle with Duckert, and he's got room all the way to the Stevens Point 45. He has just had himself a half here in this week 2 action for them, week 1 action for Stevens Point, but moving the chains once again. And this is one of those drives where Stevens Point needs to kind of catch their breath a little bit, because Mayville State's kind of running it at will here.
Yeah, definitely, especially since the Pointers have been stuffing the run game, especially at the start of the 2nd half here, but now it's looking a little rough for them as motion to the right from the tight end.
Hand up the middle once again. Why not get it to Duckert, and he'll pick up just about 3 this time. But Duckert really shows he's got a motor, and he's just going every play.
Hey, he's not afraid to pull it in there and try to gain some yards, especially on this drive for him. He's been having himself a nice drive.
Without question. Going up to the offensive line is Solman, the quarterback. He has had himself one heck of a ball game, regardless of the outcome. He's definitely made some plays that really stuck out here. In motion, the tight end Frederick. Now he'll go back. He'll hand it right back up the middle to Duckert. Have they thrown it this entire drive here?
I think maybe once before the end of the 3rd quarter they threw it a little bit, but
they haven't had the need to,
the running game's been there for them, I will say, on this drive.
So 3rd down and 6, they'll say, a chance for the Pointers to get off the field after this has been a rather methodical drive here by Mayville State. Big point in the game here. Tie game, 24 all. as Stevens Point looking to get off the field. Nobody in the backfield. Trips now motion over to his left. They'll flick it out into the flat, wide open, but big time hit. And oh, that was a dangerous hit, as instantly going to the ground was number 3 for the Comets. That's
Joshua Portillo.
And man, you saw as soon as that hit was applied that was a big time hit. It looked like a legal hit, as the referees are coming together and discussing this.
And I will say it did not look, it looked a little.
It looked like one of those hard legal hits.
Exactly. At this level, it's hard to say what's not being a cheap shot. He's just trying to make the play and trying to break it up, but it's a matter of where the guy is and how he leads with his. It looked like he led with his shoulder.
I think the key to the targeting is there a crown of the helmet indication, and with this being Division III football, we don't necessarily have the replay capability with this, and so it's really up to the umpires and referees to make that call. As getting back to his feet
Is Portillo,
but his head coach coming out onto the field to check on him. But the referees are still having a discussion. The linesman, the umpire. There's a discussion with Coach Vinay, and just trying to get what the word is. And looks like there's going to be no penalty, but the offense will stay out here. This could be another pooch kick situation. It is 4th down and 6, and do you want to risk at this point? 10 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Still a lot of time left in the game, but they're not afraid to pooch kick it, and
Stevens Point looks
we're
like
even going deep here.
Stevens Point is bringing pressure here, and they are pooch kicking it, and this will be a far better kick, and that checks up. What a beautiful job there by Solomon, as that'll check up at about the 10-yard line. That's about as much as you can ask for from your quarterback doing that.
Exactly. That's not something he does every day.
But credit Stevens Point. They get the stop. Great physical legal play by the defender for Stevens Point, as now they'll take over at their own 10-yard line with 10 minutes and 4 seconds to really take the lead on this one
and hopefully take the lead. I mean, they have all this time to maybe have a drive down the field, chew some clock up to limit the amount of offensive time that Mayville State has here.
So 1st down and 10. He'll hand it off up the middle, and that'll go nowhere. Is the ball out? Looked like they were running around. No fumble. And instead it'll be 2nd down and 9, 1 yard in the carry. Here in the 4th quarter, score 24-24. Pointers on top, Pointers tied. Hopefully we'll say in a few minutes, Pointers on top. But Pointers tied with Mayville State with 9:35 to go in the game. In regulation, I should say.
You can't say it's, the way the game's going, and who knows, it could go into OT.
So 2nd down and 9. Schrader will fake the handoff. He'll roll out to his right and throw it to the tight end in the flat. Beautifully designed play, and the Pointers will move it up the field. That's the 2nd time they've really ran that play effectively. A bootleg rollout by Schrader. What a beautiful design, and they've been utilizing that all night. What a great play, and the Pointers will move the sticks.
Definitely, it's really they're getting it looked like their their guard rolling out to block, or maybe their tackle, hard to say, rolling out to pick up a block to set up Schrader for a pass.
But Matt Gertgen, number 40, the tight end, the freshman out of Wisconsin Dells, and now a handoff up the middle and bouncing off a tackler and fighting his way up the middle. I believe that's number 28 for the Pointers.
Seth Forbes.
Seth Forbes is quietly having himself a good game. A lot of these youngsters for the Pointers are having good games. But 8 minutes and 25 seconds, just about. 24 all. Pointers 2nd down and 7. What would be the ideal play call here? because you're establishing a run game, but you're in second down and long, so you don't necessarily want to air it out.
No, you don't want to air it out right away. Maybe you want to set up the run. You want to set up enough runs. As we have a
fumble.
Looks like a ball loose.
Looked like maybe Schrader never had a good hand on it. Never really couldn't see it, but jumping on it is, for the Pointers, number 40, Matt Gergen, the tight end. Maybe saving the Pointers a possession. That's a big time play here because
huge.
If you lose the fumble, you're inside your own 25-yard line.
Definitely, it's a play you don't want the Pointers to have, but now looks like they're spreading out a little wide here as they have a Twins look.
Dropping back to pass, Schrader will throw it over the middle, and he misfires. Looking for his receiver, that's number 33, Jeffrey Williams, but nothing doing. And the Pointers drive is going to stall here with 7:18 to go in this fourth quarter, and they're going to have to send the punt unit back onto the field. What a game. What a game so far. It's been two very evenly matched teams fighting, delivering haymakers back and forth. And defense. This has really been a defensive first half as the punt is up and away, and a nice spiraling punt that takes a Stevens Point bounce. Beautiful punt as it'll get all the way down to the 19-yard line. Great job there by the Pointers punter. And now the Comets will take over. Special teams once again.
It's huge. You know, special teams can help and hurt a team in the littlest ways. You don't think about it, but special teams is very important. Like with the punt there, you want to set your defense up in a good spot to hopefully make a stop here. A credit to Carter Unger there. He's a great punter.
Outstanding punter, and a member of the cheer squad. So he can, while he can punt, he can also flip and do all those tricks. You know, I've seen guys do standing backflips earlier in the game. I'm like, I can barely do a backflip on a trampoline. It's a huge pass fake, and right up. That'll be a face mask all day, as you can see from up here in the box, as Pointers got good pressure, but hands maybe too high, and that'll go right in the face of Solman, and that'll be a free 15 yards. So 15 yards on the face mask, and that's one of those just unfortunate situations because you got great pressure, but great cut. That if it was a sack, you would have called it a coverage sack because there's just nobody open.
Well, exactly. And nowhere for him to go either. His offensive linemen were surrounding him. He couldn't scramble out to make an attempt at the pass. But unfortunate for the Pointers there, especially with great pressure on the play there.
Looks like they're going to play a little bit of two-man deep here, but man-on-man out on the edge. And looks like they're bringing pressure from the edge. Now Flower is in motion instead. I'll hand it off the middle up to Goldman, and he'll only get about 3 yards on the carry, making it 2nd down and 7. But it's interesting to see because they want to go with that two-back kind of formula here, but Ducker really had a very good drive last time. Obviously no points came from it, but he had himself a good drive rushing the football.
Without a doubt, he was finding the holes set up by his offensive line. A credit to them too with that. It does make you wonder maybe he's the guy to go with here instead of Omen, but Omen's also been pretty good as
in motion now, going back to pass, getting level, just a 50-50 ball. Did he come up with that? Oh my goodness. And it was a catch. Oh my goodness.
That's an insane catch by Reese Smith there.
Insane. Had a guy blanketed all over him. Perfect coverage. There's not much more you can ask for that, but just a better catch. And what a throw there by Solomon. What a throw.
Yeah,
and
that's a great play.
Mark that one down for your highlights books, ladies and gentlemen, because that was a big time play. It's now Ullman in the backfield. Stevens Point desperately needs a stop here as now the Comets are in field goal range. Maybe a turnover would do it, but Ullman will break to the edge, and he's only got one man, and here comes a flag. Looks like they're going to get
A couple 2-tree flags on there.
Looks like they're going to
I think a block in the back.
illegal block in the back or potentially holding. It could be an ineligible man downfield as well.
Not sure if it was a pass. It looked like a run off the.
Literally a run off the edge, but
Yeah.
maybe some guys were a little eager and got down there. I'm going to say illegal block in the back, so Brody was right. But we got 5:15 to go. That's 10 big yards there that if Stevens Point can get a stop, 33-yard line, force a rather long kick. Doesn't seem like there's much wind tonight, so that won't be a factor. But
A very clear night tonight here at Gerke Field in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Hopefully the Pointers here can possibly limit it to a kick. That's all you can ask for them, or to just set up the offense maybe here as tight end motions to the left, and
he's looking deep all the way. Instant pressure by the Pointers, and now he'll run, just flip it into the flat. Beautiful job there. Who else? Davison with the catch, and he'll get out of bounds. Nope, they'll say he's down at around the 14-yard line. What a little. I mean, I've been gushing all over night on Solomon, but there was absolutely nothing going on that play. Nothing. Great defense by the Pointers. He just bought himself some time, and his receiver made himself open.
exactly, and he tried to make something out of it too. He tried to spin around and try to escape the pressure to maybe gain a little bit more yards to try to get that first down. They're just short here now.
Solomon with this 2nd down and 1. Take the snap. He'll hand it off the middle to Ullman, and he'll bang his way for what seems to be, he's just carrying Pointers. That'll be a 1st down and goal for the Comets. But this is a real gut check time here for the Pointers defense. You've been playing a phenomenal game today. You're in a tie game with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left. This is the first game of your season. You got to buckle down and finish this one off here defensively.
Definitely, with the 2, you gotta. Hopefully, if you can get the stop here, you can maybe score in the next drive. Who knows?
In motion is Flower. Now to his right, takes the snap, is Solomon. He'll look to pass over the middle, wide open, but he cannot corral it, is the tight end. Beautiful play design, but cannot corral it.
Just a little long on the pass here, as there's 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in this 4th quarter.
He had him. That's the type of pass you got to throw before the guy makes a break, because throw him into position is what they say.
Exactly.
Throw him open.
Meet the ball there.
Now here we go. 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line. Solomon, now Ullman in motion. In motion is the wide receiver Flower. Now they take the snap. Solomon looking to pass. There is just a lot of traffic. And now running his way, and he'll dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Comets. Solomon using his legs as the Comets take the lead. Great athletic play by the quarterback.
It's a huge play for Mayville State here. To his credit, really great play by Tim Salmon. That's a huge play out of him, especially being a sophomore. We talk about it. That's a lot for a sophomore to handle, and he really made a great play there to put his team ahead now.
Here comes the point after the kick is up and plenty good. So the score is 31-24. Comets on top of the Pointers. Here's 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, Brody, to tie the game. That's what it comes down to. You got all 3 of your timeouts. Now, this has been one of the better games that you will probably see this entire week of football in the WIAC, as tightly contested as this is. But what a game. What a game that this has been. And it really couldn't ask for much more than this We'll try to check the scoreboards from elsewhere around the league. La Crosse destroys Dakota State 42-7. So picked to finish second in the conference. La Crosse with maybe one of the most emphatic victories. I would say the most impressive victory of the day so far would go to the Falcons of UW River Falls, as they've just bludgeoned Elmhurst 63-0. Impressive showings by a lot of the contenders and a lot of the top tier teams.
Exactly. As kick is off right here. Oh, little onside.
Pooch kick. Surprising play call there, as this has been an offense that's moved the ball relatively well, and you give them pretty good field position here.
I like the idea of trying to maybe get the ball back here for Mayville State. You never know how the Pointers are going to see that, but it sets up the offense in a pretty solid spot for the Pointers offense. They're not afraid to, they can run the ball. They can do a lot with this offense here.
3 minutes and 13 seconds is a lot of time, especially with 3 timeouts left. Pressure in his face. He's going to go deep right away, and he is going nowhere. Number 15, Jordan Richardson on coverage for the Comets. There was really nothing doing on that play. Second down and 10 here at 37-yard line, but I like the play call. Getting good field position, why not take a shot? Set the momentum early for this drive. Doesn't pay off here, but it opens up the playbook on a lot of things you can do.
Exactly. If he makes that catch, you're in great field position to still, set up a play here as
in motion Aguilera. Now they'll fake the handoff, pitch it to Aguilera. There was really nothing doing on that play. A pickup of maybe 1, and that'll set up 3rd down and 9 or 3rd down and 8. They'll say you picked up 2 here. This is big down here, ladies and gentlemen. Pointers down by 7. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this one. Schrader back to pass. He'll rolling. Got nowhere to go, and now he'll start to scramble. Got to make a man miss. He'll run to the side, keep right, and he'll dive and get within 1 yard of it, putting his body on the line. And he'll be short by about 2 yards, but do you punt it away or do you keep it? It looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
I mean, it could help it can hurt you here. They got to make a huge play here with just a little over 2 minutes here. I think it looks like they might be
unfavorable spot, it looks like. But the Pointers are going for it. 4th down and 2 and a timeout taken.
Timeout by the Pointers here. Hopefully to set something up here with a minute 55 left. If they get it here, they can run a 2-minute drill, try to maybe score here, tie it up, maybe send it to OT, or maybe even go for it all and go for 2.
That is the question. When you're in a situation where you got a minute 55, 4th down and 2, you pick up the first down line and the first down yardage, and let's say all goes well and they score a touchdown. Do you go for 2 and try to end the game there, or do you go to overtime? I think, personally, right now I would say you take the extra point and you go to overtime, because you're guaranteed to have a possession in college.
Exactly. You may be able to hold them, in overtime. But the risk there is maybe you want to go for 2 and be, try to make a play here. But here we go as
here's the game.
4th and 2 here.
Schrader, he'll take the snap and he'll hand it off, and going right up the middle. And does he get it? They will say he does.
Looks like he got it here. Wow.
Gutsy call, because the Comets have been stuffing that up all night, so the Pointers will move the sticks on maybe the biggest play, what is the biggest play of the day, and keep the game alive. They got to show a little bit of urgency here as they're getting close to 90 seconds left in the game here. As now Schrader will get the ball.
Not a ton of time, and especially when you only have two timeouts. You got to make something here.
Schrader's dropping back to pass. He'll step up into the pocket and throw over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. He got hit, and Schrader is down. Schrader a little shaken up. The pass falls incomplete, and so it's a minute 21 left in the game. 31-24, Mayville State on top of Stevens Point. And ball just outside of midfield. Stevens Point on the move, just picked up a crucial 4th down and 2. Let's see what Schrader can come up with here at 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap. Dropping back to pass. He'll look, throw it deep. Got a receiver, and he can't complete it.
Definitely not a bad shot to take there, but
Will Flemons in coverage for the Comets. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Now this is an important down because if you go for a deep shot here and you don't get it, it's 4th down and 10. Now do you try to go for half of it here and make it, you want to get the 1st down, right?
You want to get it as close enough or even just try to get the 1st down here, but you only have a minute 15 left. You don't have a ton of time.
3rd down and 10. Here's the snap. Instant pressure on Schrader. Now he'll jump up and he'll run. And here comes a flag. 2 flags, one in the secondary, and Schrader will run. And what's the call? Schrader seemed to have scampered for a 1st down, but they're going to say it was holding on Mayville State. That's going to give the Pointers a 1st down.
That's very crucial for the Pointers here. Hard to say. I was looking down there. I'm like, there's not a whole lot going on around there, but maybe there's just a holding trying to block here, and it's helping the Pointers here.
So Stevens Point gets a little bit of a gift, and now they're on the march. 2 timeouts left, 67 seconds to go in the game. You couldn't ask for a little bit more drama here.
Exactly.
In the end.
You gotta make this intense as he
snap to Schrader. He's looking. He'll just dump this one off, and he got planted. Oh my goodness. Schrader has been taking some big time hits today, and
especially on this drive.
So
I think they look like they threw a flag maybe for intentional grounding, but I could be wrong.
Doesn't look like it. Nope, they confirm no intentional grounding. So
It looked like he had a receiver in the area anyways.
I just certainly did, but
a minute 02 here left for Schrader in the offense to try to make something happen here.
In motion is the receiver. Now dropping back to pass is Schrader. He's going to look to run, and he's going to get dropped for a big-time sack. Is number 84 for the Comets. That's Bailey Mullenberg. The
sophomore out of Somerset, Wisconsin. Oh, there you go.
Homecoming for Mullenberg. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Have timeouts. Poor usage of time there by the Pointers, as they had, precious time is ticking off the clock there.
They were really taking their time there to, try to set something up, but they had to waste the time out here, and they only have 1 left with 36 seconds, and they got to potentially take a shot here.
Well, it's not necessarily, the timeout that's the confusing thing. It's how long they waited to call the
exactly. I'm not an offensive play caller. I'm not I do a little bit of coaching myself, but it's hard to say what's the best decision for your team right now, especially since Mayville State's been doing a fantastic job stopping the pass. It was a little shaky for the run defense starting out, but they've been really coming in their own, and they've been a solid defense this fourth quarter.
Couldn't ask for much of a better game than this. Stevens Point, Mayville State, Comets on top of the Pointers 31-24 with 36 seconds left in the game. Here we go. Schrader dropping back to pass. Here comes the pressure from the Comets. Schrader's going to roll out, roll out, roll out. He's going to throw it deep. This one's going up for grabs, and it'll be intercepted by the Comets. And on the return is number 12. That is Caden Johnson, the 5'11 sophomore out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota, will ice the game for the Comets. And they will pick up a big-time victory here.
Wait, there is a flag on the field, though.
Are they going to say roughing the passer?
That might be a huge call here. Who knows?
They are going to say roughing the passer, so nix the interception.
Wow.
15 yards. Goodness.
Oh, man. Wow, you really can't ask for a better game.
Goodness.
Oh, man. Wow, this is this is
What else can you say? 24 seconds left. When all seems over, I mean, interception without question would have ended the game. You just got to kneel the ball once and the game's over. Instead, Stevens Point's got the ball at the 25-yard line, 24 seconds left, and a timeout to try to tie this game up. Low snap again. Schrader looking, got to get rid of it. Now just dumps it off, getting out of bounds here. Number 1 for the Pointers, Devin Baldridge, the tight end. Not much to gain there. 22, gain of 3. You don't have much time here. You got to pick up a little more than 3 yards on one.
exactly. Try to. I wouldn't say air it out, but like.
Let's see if an end zone shot or.
You don't have a ton of time. You got to do something.
Offense looks a little confused here. That's not what you want in these crunch time situations. As Schrader will now get the snap, he'll drop back to pass. He'll throw it over the middle. Now an easy check down pass that'll go over to 33 for the Pointers. That is Jeffrey Williams. He'll pick up a first down. Or I'll assume he picked up a first down.
Yeah, it looks like he's short, definitely short.
3rd and 3 here with only 12 seconds to go. Goodness, you couldn't ask for a more suspenseful finish here.
It's definitely getting the heart pounding right now. Oh, man.
It couldn't ask for a more suspenseful finish here at Gerke Field. Schrader now. 3rd down and 3. 12 seconds to go. Down by 7. Schrader takes the snap. He's looking. Got to find something. Now runs off to his left. Throws to the end zone. Too high. 5 seconds left in this one. Down by 7 with 5 seconds left. Realistically, you got one more shot.
You really got to take a shot here. It's going to come down to this. I mean, it's
all down to this, ladies and gentlemen. 4th down and 3. Game on the line here. 31-24. Stevens Point trailing. That Mayville State defense is absolutely gassed. They are tired. This has been a long Stevens Point drive. Can they do it one more time? And Stevens Point's going to take a timeout. This is an all or nothing, folks.
It really is. Crowd's really getting into it right now, and for these Pointers, they really got to put it here. They gotta try to figure something out to get past this defense to hopefully put one in. It's all you can hope for these Pointers here with 5 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Without question, 5 seconds left. This is about as suspenseful as a game could possibly get here. in Gerke Field.
And we're only in week 1.
We're in week
We're in
one.
week 1.
Week 1, and we're having a 4th down and 3, 5 seconds to go, down by a touchdown. Got to have it. This is a go to the end zone play, and Mayville State knows that. They're going to at most rush 3 guys. Everybody else is going to be in coverage, so they're going to dare the Pointers to make a play.
Maybe try to make a jump ball pass here. Hopefully come down with it. Who knows? This is
the
insane.
game. This is the game. Barring a penalty, 5 seconds left. They got only rushing 3. Schrader takes the snap. He's looking, and a timeout taken by Mayville State. So we're going to do it all over again. Goodness, just wanted to find out what the other team is up to, I guess.
Ice the quarterback, I guess.
Ice the offense,
yeah.
maybe. But
it's just
hey,
this is
it's
a lot to handle right now.
It's been an emotional game, ladies and gentlemen. It's been from a blowout to a tie game to late game heroics to anything you can ask for. This has been one of the best games you're going to see at Gerke Field in a long, long time.
I mean, I'm not saying this should be like this the rest of the season, but the fans are really getting into it. I mean, seems like everybody's having a great time.
Seems like
no matter the score, no matter who wins here, it's been a great game here at Gerke Field.
5 seconds to go. Can Schrader do it? Down by 7, gotta have it. Here comes the snap. He'll take it. He'll drop back to pass. Looking, only rushing 3 and still getting pressure. Going to the end zone and incomplete. That's gonna do it. As Mayville State makes the upset after the long trek from North Dakota. They make their way up to Gerke Field, and they get a big-time victory here. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. Not the outcome that Pointers could have asked for.
No, definitely
but
not.
A fantastic game, all the less. Both teams put everything out there, and what a game. You can't ask for much more. We're going to hang out here a bit and grab some end game stats here. And
a credit to both sides. Both teams played pretty well tonight. You'll have some off game or some off plays here they'll definitely look at it and say, hey, we can improve on this, and what are we doing here? Whatever. I would say both teams played pretty well on all 3 facets of the game. I mean, especially the Pointers on special teams. That was a huge start to the second half for them, and a lot of good stuff out of these Pointers already, even if they lost. Still a great look.
A hard way to end the game, but they were in the game from the beginning, really. There was a 21-point score swing as the Pointers rattled off to take a 24-21 lead. And Mayville State tied it up, and then eventually they took the lead on a touchdown. But what a great game. You couldn't ask for much more, and these are 2 teams that laid everything out on the field. I mean, you could tell it from both players, from Schroeder laying his body out on the line to try to pick up a first down. And
that's all you can ask for both teams.
Solomon just got to give credit to Tim Solomon, the quarterback for the Comets. He had himself a heck of a ball game, not only throwing the ball, but the go-ahead and essentially game-winning touchdown using his legs. What a game by the Comets. What a game for the Pointers. Unfortunately, they come up short. 31-24 is the final score from Gerke Field. We're going to call this one a game here. It's been really fun doing this week 1 action here with you, Brody. Hopefully we can do a little bit more of that here. What are your final thoughts on today's game?
I would say both teams have a lot to look forward to this season. This Pointers, especially here, they got a lot to look forward to this season. It's not the result they wanted, but a lot of good stuff out of the Pointers.
So that'll do it here from Gerke Field. Final score, Mayville State 31, UW-Stevens Point 24. I've been Will Harrelson. Alongside me, my partner, Brody Kupski upstairs, Maddie Larson, and Ryan Kreft on the cameras. We're going to say goodbye. You've been listening to WWSP Stevens Point 90 FM and SPTV. Thank you, folks, and we'll see you next time.